Hello and welcome to Tricks of the S-Trade channel. Today remains the 6th of October 2017, and this is the part 5 of the Real Gender Not Transgender or Transsexual series. So if it's your first time on the channel, I'd like to welcome you. Before you can go any further into the video, I would advise that you pause the video right here and go watch the primer video first. The primer video is going to answer some of your most pertinent questions, so I don't want you watching the video and having too many questions and trying to get in the comment section and asking us stuff that we've already answered. So you need to watch the primer video first. I'm going to point you to watch the primer video or how to look for it on the channel, and then we can come back and continue this video. So the primer video is going to be the oldest video on this particular channel. There is a playlist for it. You can actually go to the channel and look for the playlist called primer video. So with every video that we make besides the primer video, there is a description section. All right, there's a link in the description section. When you click on this link, it's going to take you to a document called Male versus Female Visual Differences. We advise that you study this document because it will show you the difference between male and female, so that you can actually be able to transvestigate, as the word is being used today, to know the sexes of the people that you claim or people that you see on TV. Sorry. So the primer video is very important. It's the most important video that you'll watch on this channel because it will tell you the reasons why people are transgender, such questions that you might have, the people behind it, and why the world is the way it is. Because even though we feature a lot of transgenders on our channel, right, the channel is not a transgender channel. The channel is about helping you to understand your world by connecting the dots, all right, making the puzzles fit so you can actually see clearly with understanding who your problem is and why we are in the mess that we are in. Okay, so please watch the primer video. It's the most important video that you watch on this channel before you can continue watching this particular video. Now remember, this is the part 5. So you need to watch the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5 of this particular video that we're on. Now, when you click on the link, now this link is in any video that you pick up on this channel, all right? It will take you to this document. Like I said before, the document is Male versus Female Visual Differences, and you need to study this document on your own, please. It's very important that you do. So because we're in the subject of transvestigation, we're going to the document right now. Now, a female to my left, all right, has an arch in her back. A woman always has an arch in her back because her pelvis is tilted forward so that the baby can stay inside the pelvic region. Because if the pelvis is not tilted forward, the baby is going to drop out of the womb. So that's why when you look at females, they seem to be standing with their butt sticking out. Now the pelvis is like a bucket. If you have a bucket that's standing straight and you tilt it diagonally, all right, diagonally, then it's going to be tilted forward, all right? So that's what the pelvis of a woman looks like. Now the arch is also an extra support for the weight of carrying children, because as females, they are going to get pregnant. So the arch is extra support for the weight, and also a woman's spine is very flexible to deal with that weight as well. So depending on where you draw the shape of the spine from, it's going to be shaped like an S, or it's going to be shaped like a C if you're drawing it from deep inside the back, okay? Now, males do not have an arch in their backs because males don't get pregnant. Males have straight backs. If a man's back wants to arch, it's going to arch outwards into the shape of a P or a D, but males have straight backs because males don't get pregnant. All right, I'm going to scroll into the document a little bit more to show you that a woman always has an arch in her back. So here is a woman. It doesn't matter what ethnicity or color the woman comes in, all right, there's always going to be an arch in the back, a deep C arch in the back. As you can see with this woman right here, she has a deep C arch in her back. I'm going to scroll further into the document just to show you that it doesn't matter what body shape the woman comes in, there's always going to be an arch in a female's back. So it doesn't matter if she's big, tall, or small. As you can see right here, here is a woman, all right? Now, one thing you guys should notice that the hip location of females can never ever change. So it doesn't matter if the female has small hips or no hips, as the case might be, the hip joints, the hip location is always going to be below the crotch. So there's a female here to my left. As you can see, there's an arch in the back and her pelvis is tilted forward. Another female here to my right, small female, arch in the back, pelvis is tilted forward. Now I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter if the female lifts weights, muscular female, arch in the back. Nothing can change the skeletal structure. All right, nothing can change the skeletal structure. Here's another female here, arch in the back. Right, nothing can change the skeletal structure, because when people die, all right, this is what the Vatican doesn't let you know or understand. When people die and they're trying to determine the sex, all you have are the bones. It's from the bones that you determine that this person was either male or female. So sex is not really determined by the genitals. It's determined by the skeletal structure. Because as a woman is designed to give birth. So because she's designed to give birth, like I said earlier before, she's going to have an arch in the back because the pelvis is tilted forward. Her hips are going to be below her crotch so she can have easy access when she's trying to give birth. She's going to have a wide pubic arch so a baby can come out of the pelvic area. Okay, so that is what differentiates the sexes. All right, I'm going to play a video to show you where the location of a female hip is at, and then we can continue on with the trans, real gender, not transgender or transsexual series. So I played a video right here. As you can see, here is a woman and she's spreading downwards. All right, she's spreading downwards, and the widest point is going to be below the crotch. So that's where the hip location for a woman is, below the crotch, not above it. All right, so the female's going to turn around so you see where it is from the back. She's turning around right now. As you can see, the hips are still below the crotch but slightly above the bum line. Below the crotch and slightly above the bum line. This is how a woman's clothes are measured. So anywhere in the world, when you're sewing a dress for a woman, or her pants, or whatever clothing that she wears, you have to have the right location for the hips. Otherwise, the cloth that you're sewing is not going to fit. So that's why all these clothes are made all around the world and brought to any country, including the United States, and a woman can fit into it because they have the right location for the hips. But the Vatican doesn't want you guys to know this, because they don't want you to know the differences between the gender, because there is an agenda for the transgenders. Okay, so let's move forward. So here is the point that I have to put on warnings before I continue with the video. The warnings are this. You just can't say on this particular video, I don't believe what you're saying. You have to show us facts. And like I've said before, if you're watching any of those channels, all right, you're watching one of the channels that I'm going to mention right now. You're watching Mr. E3000, you've watched Apostle Laura Lee, you've watched Star Spirit, you've watched Rebooting Christianity, you've watched possibly maybe John Humanity. You have watched channels like which other channel am I forgetting right here? Max Bitter Truth or Max Bitter Truth page, whatever the case might be. If any of you, if you're subscribed on any of those channels and you come on this channel and you say I don't believe what you're saying, I'm gonna block you, because there are channel rules in effect. You have to supply evidence in links and pictures based on the female skeletal structure, because those channels out there don't show you any facts. They work off pure speculation. They're the only ones who can identify the transgenders, and they don't give you any visible facts that you can use. So for example, they're going to use stuff like the person has a brow ridge, has a wide pubic arch, has Adam's apples, has index or ring fingers longer than the others, long torso, the person looks boyish or girlish, has strong jawline, a strong chin, has deep set eyes, has what else do they put in, Adonis belts and all that. If you bring any of those up as facts as to what or that a person is transgender, we're gonna block you for slandering. There's no slandering allowed on this channel. You have to supply the links and evidence based on the female skeletal structure, because everything that I've mentioned of Adonis belts that come from all those YouTube channels, ring and index fingers, long arms, long torsos, brow ridges, strong chins, strong jaw lines, and anything that they mention, do not differentiate the sexes, because none of those things that I've mentioned right there differentiates the sexes, because none of those things have anything to do with childbirth. Ring index fingers jaw lines, brow ridges, strong chins, Adonis belts, long arms, long torsos, looks boyish or looks girlish, don't have anything to do with childbearing, which differentiates the sexes. Because what differentiates the sexes is that one sex is designed to give birth and the other is not. Because a woman is designed to give birth, her skeletal structure is designed to give birth. And what skeletal structure am I talking about? The part that have to do with how a woman carries children. So because a woman carries children, she has an arch in her back. Her pubic arch is wide enough, 120 degrees or more. Males have 90 degrees or less. That's the width of a man's pubic arch, 90 degrees or less. A woman is 120 degrees or more. Okay? Always 120 degrees the standard or more. A woman has her hips are below her crotch so she can give birth. She has an arch in the back. Her pelvis is tilted forward so a baby can stay there. So that is what differentiates the sexes, because that gives the woman the skeletal structure to be able to bear children, to carry children. So if you come up here on this particular channel and you start with brow ridges, long lines, torsos, index fingers, boyish or girlish looks mannish or womanish, whatever the case might be, without supplying those links in pictures and videos based on the skeletal structure that I've just talked about, which differentiates the sexes, we are going to block you. There is no slandering allowed on this channel. And as usual, the Vatican hasn't changed. The people responsible for running your world, the people responsible for all the fake media news that you see around you. For example, the organization of the Las Vegas shooting, which just happened like a week ago. And they're painting all the news on you and telling you that they have to sign into laws that people don't have to use the bump stock to make the guns to fire quickly bullets to make it look like an automatic rifle. All that is based on gun control. They want to try to take away your guns so that when the Vatican comes knocking at your door, they can take you at will. That's all what you're doing. All right? So don't be sucked into believing stories or believing what you see on TV, because like I've said, everything on TV is a lie. A TV is there to mind control you. The so-called MK Ultra is your TV. It's the indoctrination you get from your media centers. Anything that's media, your schools, that is the MK Ultra at work. But they want to make you believe that it's something else. They say MK Ultra athletes. No. All what you're seeing on TV, it's mind controlling you. Why is it important to control your mind? Because if you can't control someone's mind, you can't control your actions, you can't control their bodies. It's very, very important. Mind control first. If I can't control your mind, I can't control you. It's just simple as that. So I want you guys to take notice of what you're watching. Now, for this particular series, the Real Gender, Not Transgender or Transsexual series, everybody that we're showing you on this particular series, we are not saying that you should trust any one of them. We are not saying that you should take their words as truth. All what we are saying is that these people are the gender they claim, nothing more. We're not saying you should make idols of them, you should trust them, because these people are not different from anybody else in the world. They're just flesh and blood. But the Vatican has elevated them to that point to be on your TV, to use them to control and shape and mold your reality. You should have no trust of them. Okay? All what we're saying that these people are the gender they claim. That's all it is. Nothing more. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So do not put your trust in them. Do not hope in them. These people don't care about you. Anybody you see on TV. So that's just what I wanted to say before we move into the Real Gender, Not Transgender or Transsexual series, part number 5 at this point. So let's go. So we start off with Chris Martin. I don't quite remember the group that he's been on or he's been on not. Now, for people who say, as I've showed earlier in the video, that how we identify the sexes is based on that the female skeletal structure is designed to give birth. So somebody who will leave a stupid comment and say, how do you know this? We've already showed you. the differences between a man and a woman skeletally. A woman has hips below the crotch. She has a wide pubic arch. She has an arch in her back. Her pelvis is tilted forward because she's going to give birth, and that's what differentiates her from a male. So if a woman has that, then she's female. If she doesn't have that, then she's male. All right? There is no way about it. All right? No way around it, rather say. So stick to the facts. And one thing I also wanted to let you guys know is that in the future, or it's not even in the future, it's happening even now. You're gonna find out that there are real women which the Vatican will set up and make you believe that these real women are transgendered when they are not, to confuse you. Because when the truth starts coming out and people are starting to be able to identify the sexes, the Vatican is gonna try to play a number on you. So I gave an example in Ruby Rose on the part 4. If you need to hear that again, you could watch the part 4 of this Real Gender Not Transgender or Transsexual series in which I talk about that. So you always have to stick to the facts, stick to the skeletal structure. Do not be carried away by everything you hear. Stick to the facts. And one of the facts that you have to know is that the Jews do not run the world. They are proxies of the Vatican. It's the Vatican who set up the Jews and not the Jews who set up the Vatican. All right? So remember that. So we start with Chris Martin right here, and Chris Martin is the gender he claims. He's a man and not a transgender. We move on. ABBA. ABBA was a group late. I don't remember which decade they were in, but the whole ABBA people here, this is a man, woman, man. They are not transgendered in any way, shape, or form. They are the sex they claim. ABBA. Here is Alec Weck. Alec Weck is a model, a Sudanese model. I believe she's from Sudan. If I'm right, please correct me. Alec Weck is not a transgender. She is the sex she claims. And I put this picture up and I put a notice up here to say that this is a close example of the color of God if you met Yehoshua or God the Father. Because like I've said before, we are created in the image of God. And that image of God is a dark black man with woolly or nappy hair. And like I've explained before, that white people are black albinos. If you're interested in that, watch the Myth of Whiteness. Go look for the playlist on the channel. Look for the Myth of Whiteness. All right? White is a myth. What you have are black albinos with straight hair instead of nappy hair, because albinism is in the hair. And like I've said before, my own understanding after knowing the difference between what makes people albinos and coming to an understanding of that is that anybody with straight hair is an albino. Doesn't matter what color of skin you are. As long as the hair is straight and not woolly, you're an albino. Okay, so let's move on. Alec Weck. That's another picture just to show you that she has an arch in her back. Her hips are below her crotch, and that's where the Q angle starts, because Alec Weck is a woman, not a transgender. Okay. Here is Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes is a UFC champ, and people actually think is Amanda Nunes a man? No, Amanda Nunes is female. I think the only reason why she's champion is because she is a homosexual. That's the only reason why I think she's champion. So the Vatican always likes portraying homosexuality and transgenders in front of you. So they'll always make those kind of people to be the people or your so-called role models that you look after, because it's all about controlling you, confusing you. Because people might wonder, why do they have to do this? Because if you have to build a world that's different from the original world, you have to change the structures. You have to break down the foundations that those world was built on. So it's more like you have a house. You have an old house, and the foundations of those houses very, very strong, and you're trying to build another house on top of it. There is no way you can build that house except you break the foundations off. So the foundations and the natural order of things is what the Vatican is trying to erode away, because the Vatican is led by the devil himself, Satan. All right? So that's what they're doing, to build a new world. That's why they call it the New World Order. New. Why is the term they use new? It's new. Remember that. The word is New World Order. So in order to build that New World Order, you have to destroy the old world order. You have to destroy the old foundations of the world in which the world was built on, in which the world was defined by God himself, and build a new world order. So the new world order in very simple terms just means destroy the old order, the old way of things, the old foundations, and build a new world with your new foundations, in which people are confused about the genders and confused about everything else. The new world order just means destroy the old world foundation, and the Pope wants to rule your world. It's very, very simple in clear layman's understanding. So understand that. So Amanda Nunes is a woman, all right? And here's some other pictures of Amanda Nunes. As you can see, she has an arch in her back. The pelvis is tilted forward because she's 100% female. Here's another picture of Amanda Nunes. As you see, she starts spreading from under her elbows. So people always say that sometimes a woman's shoulders can be wider than her hips. That is true, but it will not change the location of where the hip is at. The hips of a woman are always going to be below the crotch. So it doesn't matter if she has small hips. In the case of Amanda Nunes right here, the hips are still going to be below the crotch. This is a clear example. So as you can see, she starts spreading, and the widest point in that hips from where the Q angle starts is below the crotch, as you can see right here. Okay? Below the crotch is where her hips are at, and that's where the Q angle starts. And she still has even a wide pubic arch because you can see through those hips, all right, even though her shoulders are wider. Clear example of making people understand. It doesn't matter the shoulder length, because you have a lot of YouTube channels will tell you, oh, the shoulders are longer than the hips, so that makes this woman a man. No, not true. You have to look at where the Q angle of a female is, which is below the hips, or below the crotch, sorry to say. The Q angle is the angle between the hips and the knee, and for females, it's more acute than that of a man because the pubic arch is wider. All right? All right, so let's move further. And here's Amanda Nunes again. As you can see, clear as night and day. She has an arch in her back. The pelvis is still tilted forward. That makes a woman look like her butt is always sticking out because the pelvis is tilted forward. All right, Amanda Nunes again. As you can see, the Q angle is below the crotch. Below the crotch, not above it. She starts spreading downwards, and the widest point of that spread is below the crotch from where her Q angle starts, because she's 100% female and not a man. All right, here is Amanda Nunes again. As you can see, arch in the back, clear as night and day. Arch in the back because she's female. All right, another picture. Oh, sorry, that was the end for Amanda Nunes, and I'm picking up somebody else. Here's Amanda Rigetti. I don't really know who Amanda Rigetti is. The only reason why I'm featuring her is because Mr. E3000 said that she was a man, but she's not. This woman is female, all right? 100% woman. As you can see, arch in the back, clear as night and day. Hips are below the crotch from where the Q angle starts, and you can see how acute that is, all right? Here is her again. The pelvis is tilted forward, as you can see. Pelvis tilted forward, arch in the back because she's 100% female, okay? You can see she's spreading downwards from where her elbows are underneath the elbows. She's spreading downwards. The widest point is below the crotch. Her Q angle starts there because she's 100% female. As you can see that again, she's spreading downwards from under her elbows. Widest point in the spread is below the crotch. Her Q angle starts there because she's 100% female. Amanda Rigetti is female and not a man, as Mr. E3000 wants you guys to believe. Okay, here's still another picture of Amanda Rigetti again. As you can see, spreading all the way downwards from below her elbows, and the widest point is below the crotch. Her Q angle starts there because the pubic arch is wider than that of a male. The Q angle is more acute because the wider the pubic arch, it spreads everything farther apart from itself. So that's why the hips of a woman are farther apart than that of a man. Okay? All right, Amanda Rigetti is female and not a man. Amelia Earhart, she used to be a pioneer way back in the day. Pioneer, I think, for aerospace. Amelia Earhart is female, 100% female, no transgender. Anna Knokova, there is somebody else that Mr. E3000, stooge of the Vatican, has have come to know that he is, because he tells you deliberately that these people are transgendered when they're not. Some of them, not all of them. Okay, If you're watching the channel, just watch it for entertainment purposes, but there is no truth in it. If you come up here and start using evidence from that channel as the truth on this particular channel, I'm gonna block you. Okay, so as you can see that right here, that Anna Kournikova is spreading from under her elbows. She starts getting wider from under her elbows, and the widest point is below her crotch, below the crotch, because she is female. That's where her Q angle starts, and she has a wide pubic arch because she's 100% woman. Here is Anna Kournikova again. I just wanted to pick up that picture so you can see that she's a woman all the same. Here is Anthony Kiedis of Red Hot Chili Peppers, 100% man, straight back all the way into the pelvis. Anthony Kiedis is no female, no transgender. He's 100% man. Okay. Ariel Winter of Modern Family. I hate the show, so I just put it up there because it's trying to change the old world order into the new world order, making people think that homosexuals can be great parents when they can be, or transgenders can be parents as well. But Ariel Winter, nevertheless, is a female, not a transgender. 100% female, no transgender. Audrey Hepburn is 100% woman, not a transgender in any way. All right, as you can see, the arms of this woman follow the contours of her body, because a woman's arms are always going to follow the shape of the body. It's trying to figure or mimic the what they call the hourglass figure that a woman has. Audrey Hepburn is 100% female, no transgender. Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner was an icon way back in the 60s, as they call it, or as they say, a so-called celebrity, but she's 100% female, no transgender. 100% female in Ava Gardner. All right. Bria Miles. I think she used to be a girlfriend or so of Drake. I haven't transvestigated Drake, or we haven't transvestigated Drake, so we just leave it for what it is. We just call him the girlfriend of Drake. We don't know what Drake is at this point in time. I'm not gonna give you guys any info because I'm not saying that Drake is transgendered. All I'm saying is we have not transvestigated Drake yet. Okay, so Bria Miles used to be a girlfriend of Drake, or a video girl for Drake, whatever the case might be. She's 100% female, no transgender. Brigitte Bardot. Brigitte Bardot used to be an icon in the 60s, as they call them, but she is a female, no transgender. Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields is 100% woman, no transgender. Camilo Cabello is popular right now, but she's 100% female, no transgender. Shaka Khan, 100% female, no trans. There's a lot of weird channels out there. We tell you that Shaka Khan is a man, but Shaka Khan is 100% female, no transgender. You don't have to believe us. You have to bring solid facts based on the female skeletal structure, right? Anything with Adonis belts, jawline, strong chins, looks boyish or girlish are not facts, okay? Shaka Khan is 100% female. Shilly of TLC, 100% woman, no transgender. Chris Evans, Captain America, 100% man, no transgender. Chris Daughtry, 100% man, no transgender. And Christina Aguilera, there's a channel out there that says that Christina Aguilera is transgender. There's so many channels, especially the one that brings to my memory is called Mary 40, all right? This woman is not a transgender. As you can see, she has a clear arch in the back. Clear arch in the back, clear as night and day. A C-shaped arch in the back. The pelvis is tilted forward. Arch in the back, because it's 100% woman, no transgender. Does that mean you should trust it? No. I am just telling you this person is the sex they claim. Arch in the back, 100% woman. Arch in the back, deep C arch in the back. You can't deny that. Clear as night and day. Pelvis is tilted forward. Arch in the back, 100% woman. Hips below the crotch. Wide pubic arch. Hips below the crotch. Q angle starts below the crotch. Q angle starts below the crotch because the pubic arch is wide. Starts spreading from under her elbows. Christina Aguilera, 100% female, no transgender. Christina Aguilera again, arch in the back. She starts spreading downwards. Widest point is below the crotch. Wide pubic arch. Q angle starts below the crotch. Below the crotch. Below the crotch. 100% woman, no transgender. You can see hips below the crotch, widest point. She starts spreading from under her elbows. Widest point right there is below the crotch. Q angle starts there. 100% woman, Christina Aguilera. 100% woman, arch in the back, arch in the back, arch in the back. 100% woman, pelvis is tilted forward. That's why she can get pregnant and a baby can stay inside this pelvic region, because she's 100% female and no transgender. All right, Cindy Crawford, 100% woman, no transgender. Conor McGregor, 100% man, no transgender. Deepika Padukone, I think she's a Bollywood actress, 100% woman, no transgender. Demi Moore, 100% woman, no transgender. Dennis Richards, 100% woman, no transgender. Diana Ross, I thought I had featured Diana Ross on the Part 4 series, but I didn't. But here she is, 100% woman, no transgender. As you can see, arch in the back. The pelvis is tilted forward. Arch in the back, because she's 100% woman, no transgender. Diana Ross again, because there's a lot of channels out there saying Diana Ross is actually a man. No, she's not. She's 100% female. She starts spreading downwards from where her elbows are supposed to be, and the widest point is below the crotch. Below the crotch. From there, her Q angle starts tapering and starts. The Q angle is the angle between the hip and the knee. She's 100% female, no transgender, and so is her daughter. Tracy Ellis Ross, arch in the back. With Diana Ross, the mother, arch in the back. 100% women. Okay. Diane Kruger, 100% woman, no transgender. Deion Sanders, 100% man, no transgender, howbeit a lying deceiver, all right, for the Vatican, who controls everything that's going on and organized in your world. Dieter von, I don't know if I've got the name, Dieter von Dittes, I think it's Dieter von Dittes or so, 100% female, no transgender. Donna Summer, 100% woman, no transgender. Dusty Springfield, 100% female, no transgender. Egypt Chris, a daughter to Sandra Denton of Salt and Pepper and Treats of Naughty by Nature, which we featured on this particular channel, but this is a woman. See the way she's sitting? The hips are below the crotch. That's the crotch. The hips are below it, and she's spreading like a woman should be when she's sitting on a chair, because she's female, and the Q angle starts below the crotch, not above it, because Egypt Chris is 100% female, no transgender. All right, let's move on. Alicia Cuthbert, 100% woman, no transgender. All right, let me see what else we got. So I wanted to make sure that we featured everybody that we're supposed to feature on today's show, and I think we did. And so with that, we come to the end of today's show. I hope you learned something. And remember, people, don't get easily swayed by what you hear. Reason and think about everything you hear. Does it make logical sense? Okay? Don't be swayed with everything. Stick to the facts. Always remember that. Go back to the foundation of facts. When you're looking at stuff, remember the facts. Stick to the facts. If you learn something, that's great. Advise that you subscribe and you stay tuned. And I leave you with these words. Look with your eyes and see with your brain. Thanks and bye-bye.